show called The Holiday Traditions, and we're coming into the holiday season. And many times people's attitude changes as the holidays approach. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of expectation. Then after the holiday, there's disappointment, maybe there's grief, there's loneliness. So what can you share with people about how to have a positive attitude as the holidays approach and we get together with people we probably haven't seen for a while?
That's a tough one because the holidays do bring joy, and they also bring, like you said, there's a lot of stress. There's you got to get a present for Aunt Mary. You got to. Also, I do a lot of my attitude seminars for a lot of the assisted living homes and memory care homes. And what goes on there is they're not allowed, during this COVID lockdown, they haven't been allowed to see their loved ones like they normally would. And that is really taking a toll on our seniors. And that's been a real challenge. And I've been doing a lot of Zoom attitude about my health with an attitude seminar and faith with an attitude, trying to bring people up. And the one thing I tell them is, you know what, you have to be your own motivational teacher every day. And it's a tough job because we don't all wake up with, hey, well, it's a wonderful day. Things happen. We are feeling down, but we have to make it a point. It's just like getting up and doing exercises. You have to do it. You have to make yourself say, you know what, this is going to be a good day. We're going to get through it. I'm going to be motivated. I'm going to be in a good attitude, because attitude and a good attitude is great for your health. So please, my biggest advice is make yourself your own coach. Bring yourself up every day. Say positive affirmations. I'm going to have a great day. I'm feeling better. We're going to get through. It's going to be a joyful day. I don't care what the situation is. Be your own motivator.
Thank you, Fred. That's excellent. And for anybody who's watching, we'd love to hear from you. How do you keep yourself motivated? What are some of the things that you do? Fred, I just shared on the last show that I've spent Thanksgiving. I've also spent Christmas by myself for several years. And what I did in the past is I would start my holiday off by practicing yoga. So I would do yoga, some positive affirmations, and I would be grateful for everything that I have. And I would say, this is one day in the year. And every day is another opportunity for something great to happen. So that's kind of how I've been doing it.
Let me throw something else in there, because I want other people to know about getting up and moving is good for your body, and it's also good for your attitude. And I think we talked one time that in your small apartment there, to exercise. So there's no excuse for anybody else. You have a very small apartment that you were in, and you got it, and you walked around your apartment to a total of how long or how far, but you did it religiously. You did it because you knew it was good for you and would be good for your health and your attitude.
Exactly. Thank you. And it's so easy when we're at this fork in the road where I'll just keep sitting for another hour. And I've seen this, you've seen this, people just lying in bed. Then what happens is, as time goes on, your energy level continues to diminish, and to get yourself up to where you used to be takes so much more work than if you keep yourself going just a little each day.
Exactly. Fantastic advice. That's fantastic. That's true.
Thank you, Fred. You as well. So, Fred, tell us about your guest today.
Okay, this guy, Charles Walker, he's an MBA, he's an MPA. He's got a list of accomplishments that just puts most people to shame. He has done so many things, and he's done so many things for veterans. He is a vet himself. He's been through all kinds of stuff. He does a lot of, he works for the Ginn Group Incorporated. And what they do a lot of stuff with the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, a lot of the military. He even worked for Raytheon, which I worked for Raytheon too. And he does a lot in business development processes and techniques. He management solutions, work with facility supports. He creates business opportunities through targeted marketing researches. Good grief, he's just done everything. He's also a master parachutist, and he trains people to do this. This guy is phenomenal. He's a wonderful guest, and he's done so many things. And I'm just fortunate to know him, and we do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. And I would like to introduce Mr. Charles Walker.
Welcome to the show, Charles. Hi.
Hello, how you doing? How you doing, Jacalyn and Fred, the guru?
Charles, it's great to see you. And so you're representing the Ginn group, and obviously Fred just gave you a great introduction. Tell us a little bit about the Ginn group and your work there.
Actually, it's pronounced the Ginn. The Ginn.
Oh, Ginn, sorry. Ginn,
yeah, the
thank
Ginn
you.
group, and it's a service disabled veteran-owned small business here in Peachtree City, Georgia, and they deal with facility support services, logistics, information technologies, and also engineering services. Those are broad scopes of what we do, but we can also streamline those processes for individual clients, whereby we provide solutions for those organizations.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. So, gentlemen, how did you end up getting connected? You mentioned LinkedIn. Was there a post that somebody commented on, or what happened?
What me say, Fred?
That's it. Yeah. It's I saw Charles. And if you look at his picture on LinkedIn, he's got on this nice gray suit. He's got a vest on. He's just sharp looking character. I'll tell you what, he's a good looking dude out there. And I think, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's looking slick. And anyway, his content and all his LinkedIn messages and what he puts out on LinkedIn is always something worth looking to or listening to. And the people he connects with are people that you want to know. It's not just the, recipes out there. This is informative stuff. And so we started chatting back and forth, and I tell him this or that, I'd comment on his LinkedIn posts, and then he would send a message back. Oh, thank you very much. He's very good with response. He's a very responsible fellow. And like I said, we got to chatting back and forth on LinkedIn and just answering each other's posts and supporting one another for about a year now, right?
Absolutely. You covered it all. Fred and I, like he said, most of the things on LinkedIn is targeted, strategic in nature, and also when we try to connect with like-minded people that speak about business ideas, attitudes. I believe in positive mental attitude and creating business services for veterans, and then putting people back to work even through COVID. So when I talk to the attitude guru, he motivates me. So I always reach out to him for that added extra piece of motivation that, like he mentioned, you have to be your own cheerleader for his motivation.
Good points. Thank you so much. And Fred, I have to say, you are an amazing cheerleader, because I get notifications, Fred, like my post, Fred shared my post, Fred commented on my post. And so many people don't realize how important it is that if you have a message that you want to get out there, people have to like it, comment, and share, because the share part, it's just like in life, sharing is where it's at, right? Sharing is so important.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Charles, go ahead, Fred.
I was just saying, sharing is like you've written a book, and I've written several books. And if you go on, and if you've read the book or any books, or you look at the content you share on LinkedIn and other social media, when you go out and either make a review on a book, or you add a share and a comment on LinkedIn or any other social media, it's magic. If you really feel that, add your comment, click on that share button, and I guarantee you, not only will other people notice it, but the person you're sharing it for, you will notice it also. And you know what? It bolsters you. When I see somebody share my content, it makes me feel very good. It makes me feel motivated and inspired. And that's what I want other people to feel: motivated, inspired, and encouraged.
It's
and that's
wonderful.
the purpose, right? That's the purpose, to engage. There's no need to put a post out there that you're not engaging it, or you're trying to get engagement from people, because you never know what to come out the engagement. You could be a business development type of opportunity, or it could be an opportunity where somebody got a skill set that you're looking for, and it can create other ideas and solutions for you. So if you engage, that's how it starts: like communication, collaboration, cooperation. Those are my 3 C's.
3 great points there, Charles. Another thing
Yes,
I like to do that I love for other people to really share and concentrate on is that your company and you specifically help a lot of veterans become employed. Not only employed, but you help them start business. You empower them to start businesses. And there's another lady, I can't think of her name, but she does a lot here around helping prisoners that are getting out of jail,
Yeah.
getting a job and getting back and encouraging other people. Hire these people. They're good people. They pay
Yeah.
their dues. They need to. And our veterans, oh my God, we cannot do enough for our vets. We just cannot do
true.
enough. So, gosh, I
That's true.
compliment you and the Ginn group for doing that.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the Ginn group was founded by a veteran, a Vietnam veteran,
Really?
a pilot. Yes. And he's an awesome guy still today. He comes in and motivates the group. He shows up to work, and puts out that confidence spirit in the organization whereby people, want to follow a leader like that. So that's a blessing to be in an organization like that, where it's leadership on every level. And then you have the military, some military leaders here as well, blending with civilian sector and civilian leadership. So it's just a good blend of people, good people.
Exactly.
Thanks, Charles. I'm wondering for people who are, maybe people don't have veterans in their family. They haven't been in the company of veterans. First of all, thank you for your service. What type of support do veterans need?
I think veterans, they just need that support, whereby in the military, we have a lot of camaraderie. We had family support groups. During deployments, we had, your guy to your left and your right had your back on every issue. And a lot of times then, and when they leave that kind of foundation, they start to struggle in the civilian sector. So I think that they need to have that type of leadership in an organization to transition them into that type of environment that they served with for over 20 or 30 years. It's hard to leave that type of environment and walk into a new environment, like starting all over again. So what we want to do with our veterans is keep them uplifted and focus on their soft skills and their technical skills they learned so well in the military, and just transition those. So we got to fill that gap for them. I think if you fill the gap for veterans, they'll be fine.
Wow.
I think there's that's amazing points. And I think what people don't realize is, if you're not a veteran, obviously I am not, so I have no idea, but you're leaving one environment that you've been in. You've been trained to be in this environment. You have people around you who understand what it's like to be in this environment, whether you're in active duty or not. And then you're coming into the public where people have no clue. They just see what they see on the television or stories they've heard. And that's got to be a completely different experience that you need emotional support for as well.
And it's a trained, controlled environment whereby you already trained to take responsibility for your actions. You are trained to take care of your family and prepare for deployments or war or whatever. And then so people are dependent on you to be there to do the job that you say you're going to do. And so when you get out from that kind of environment into an environment where it's not really a part of that kind of foundation, it's a new learning experience.
Okay. One point I'd love to make, to add to what you're doing there about leadership, because a lot of the veterans come out, they're commissioned officer or they're non-commissioned officer. They're trained in a leadership position and they're used to it.
Yeah.
So you take a lot of the other things, the GI Joes out there, they come back out of service, they've served their time, and they've been following instructions. I'm working on my fourth book called Leadership with an Attitude. And the basic theme of that is you don't have to be the boss to be a leader. And you're talking about people come out and they've been working in the maintenance on the maintenance side. They've been taking care of the trucks. They've been in transportation. They've been in these folks are still leaders, and they can be a leader in whatever field they are. And sometimes they come out and say, okay, I'm not a leader, I'm just a follower or something. No, everybody out there, even if you're mowing the grass for a corporation, can be a leader in that field, because it takes everybody to build a corporation. And you're entrepreneurs. I tell you what, those folks out there, they got to understand with that mentality and change that mindset that every one of them, I don't care what they do, they can be a leader in their field. I don't care if they're a janitor, I don't care if, a secretary, administrative assistant, everybody all the way up to the CEO of that company is a leader in their own field. And every company out there should be looking for leaders in every field so they can encourage the people around them to be leaders by their example.
I fully agree with that. leadership is on every level. Military teaches us that. It's on every level. Every level is you are a leader. And so, you know, in the same thing, when you come out of the military and go into organization, you are expecting that type of leadership or that kind of behavior.
That mindset.
But it's not always like that for a veteran. When they walk out, they're looking for a certain type of leadership.
Perfect.
I like to say they know what right looks like. They know what good leadership looks like. And then when they not in that environment, it causes them to think too much, go internal in their head, and then it's not good for them, you know, because a lot of times they look at PTSD, being away. It's just you missing all your buddies, the camaraderie that you have. You got to build new teams, people that you got to. It's just hard for some people to do that, but it's a transitional way to do it. And I think that it's got to be veterans helping veterans. The ones that are successful, you got to go back and pull those ones back. Say, this is how I did it, and then leave the door open for them to come back to you on a regular basis.
Wow,
veterans got to help veterans. Yeah.
That's profound. I'm glad that you shared that, because that's a key takeaway, I think, from our show today. We've got a lot more show coming, but we're going to take a break and we're going to hear from one of our sponsors. I want to thank Ian Pelham-Turner and Helen Ashard over in the UK for sharing this clip called the Earthshot Prize, and we'll watch a public service announcement and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
All right.
Ours is a world of wonder. Every day it reminds us of its beauty. It touches us, teaches us, and astounds us. But it also warns us that what we throw away does not go away. That higher temperatures mean a lot more than longer summers. That we can no longer take life as we know it for granted. We are at a unique stage in our history. Never before have we had such an awareness of what we are doing to the planet. And never before have we had the power to do something about that.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.
And welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and welcome to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. Our show is The Wise Ones, and here are two of the wise ones with me today, Fred and Charles. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So we were talking about veterans and the type of support that they need. And Charles, based on your experience with veterans, so what would you like our audience to take away from our show today?
I would like for them to take away that veterans, they're normal people just like anybody else. They just been through a lot of different experiences, different type of training and learning and how they perceive things in their own mind. But they are valuable. They are valuable resources for the civilian sector right now in all facets of life. You know, there's so many soft skills they learned and leadership skills that's needed in society today. So don't count the veterans out. You should put them in the fold and say, okay, how would you handle these situations in society today?
That's all right.
I love that. Yes, that was
Yeah, that's so spot on, Charles. Not only that, they're so used to being disciplined. They're so disciplined. You can count on them. You say you need to be at our company. You need to start work at 8 o'clock. They'll be there at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
They'll be there at 8:01. They'll be there at 8 o'clock. And their integrity is high and their teamwork is impeccable because they have learned throughout just doing what they need to do in the military. The teamwork, they're naturally born into teamwork activities. They know they have to work as a group, not as individuals, and they're so team orientated. And I tell you what, you hire a veteran and you've hired a loyal person.
That's right. Plus, they know there's somebody depending on them. They put other people above themselves. So they say the mission before themselves, and they understand that. They understand there's somebody depending on them, and they can't fail because they feel like if I fail, the whole mission failed. Right. So that's instilled in their mind that way. So that's the loyalty they have for their mission above themselves. So you get a lot of servant leaders in the military.
They got your back.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, without a doubt.
That's super, man. Oh, so I'm looking at some of your stuff here. So you're a master parachutist. Huh? You go up and you jump out of a perfectly good airplane, right?
Absolutely. I think everybody should have a parachute. I ain't no perfect airplane. You should have a parachute.
I've never done that. I did do some hang gliding at one time, and I thought I was really out of my mind doing that, but it was quite an experience. But yeah, I commend you for that.
And
not only that, but training people to do that, you have to have some skills yourself to not only teach them the actual technique of doing it, you have to teach them about what it takes up here to do it, because it has to take a psychiatric move in your own mindset to do that jump out of a perfectly good airplane, right?
Absolutely. So, when I joined the military, I was afraid of heights. So imagine that. When I joined the military, I was afraid of heights. And so the military helped me to overcome that fear by going to airborne school, the thought of even going to airborne school. So I went to airborne school. Then I had another good friend that was a ex-drill sergeant, a good buddy of mine. His name is Mark Clifton. He was in the 112 signal with me. He told me one day, say, man, you gotta go to jump master school in order to make it full circle. So you gotta be a jump master. And so, with all these different schools in the military, the number one thing you gotta have is trust. So you gotta trust somebody else to pack your parachute, and you gotta trust the person who is safety to hold a static line. And so there's a lot of trust and brotherhood in that, and safety. And so when you get those three things together in a human being and a person, you start to feel in that brotherhood and trust that person got your back, because somebody got to check your back for your static line, to make sure you can't see behind you. So you got to have a buddy to do that. So it's a lot of support systems in the military that we depend on, and they work.
That's what I was getting
Charles.
at. That support.
I was thinking to myself that you have to have some incredible amount of trust, and in a short time, you have to be able to build that in a short time. So what I'd like to talk a little bit about is attitude and trust. So somebody is going to actually jump out of a plane, right? You talked about how you were afraid of heights, and they have to have the right attitude, and they have to know they have the right team of people around them, somebody like you. Yeah. So can you share with us an experience where somebody was really afraid or their attitude wasn't great before this jump, and you were able to get them to calm down and actually enjoy the experience?
Right. I saw it a lot in airborne school. That's where they take you through like a desensitization of fear type techniques when they walk you through a process first. Think about it. If you walk through a process first, and you kind of lose the fear for the process, they take you over to the tower. They let you learn how to land, feet and knees together for a period of time. They put you up in the air on what's called the mighty Ungawa, the tower, and they put you up in there and let you look and feel how it feels. They let you down into sawdust. So you're going through the system of it in slow motion, training as you fight, but you are desensitizing yourself to the fear of it. So once you face the fear of it, it won't be so fearful. You actually become bravery, because now you've already been through, you walk through baby steps, and then now you see it in real life. It don't have the intensity of fear anymore. It's just something that you do naturally. It's muscle memory, really.
Yeah, it sounds like that old expression, what gets repeated gets remembered, right?
Exactly.
That's a perfect. Yeah, that's a perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Charles, I have one more question before I turn over to Fred. My question is, what is the I don't want to say most dangerous, but I can't think of anything else. What is the most dangerous part of the jump? Is it landing with your feet and knees together the way you just described? Is it when you pull for the like, what is it?
Actually, the parachute is gonna be deployed automatically in 4 seconds. So you count the 4, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And your parachute should be deployed at that time. And then if it's not, you got one reserve right there waiting on you. You got 2 chances. So I think the only danger or fear is it if both of those don't open. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here, so I'm good to go. And I think the danger of it is just understanding the safety processes of the whole process, safety, and learn to pay attention to detail. Once you do that, it's really just putting your feet and knees together where you won't break an ankle or anything like that, and just follow all the procedures, because you got to look at it. It's been done so many years before you got there, and people did it successfully, so you know you can do it. That's the main thing. It's been done by others, so you can do it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
You have me thinking about it now, Charles. I don't know. Before I was a definite no, and now I hear Fred went hang gliding, which is on my bucket list. So I think it's because you have this great way of instilling calm and trust quickly. That's
right. You have to, because like Fred said earlier, you have to motivate your own self. You got to be your own best motivator every day. Other outside forces is good, but you got to wake up every morning and motivate yourself, no matter what you've been through, because somebody else went through something worse, and then you just motivate yourself and keep it moving. That's it. That's
perfect.
it.
Perfect.
Yep.
Well said. Well said. So, Charles, what's next for you?
I think to grow with the Ginn group, to learn from the leaders that was already here that laid the foundation. We got some great leaders here that's been here 15 years or more, and I can learn some of the skills of how they, from the past performances that they did, the things that they created this company to be what it is today, and then try to build just a foundation to keep hiring other veterans, to let them know that it's possible, and then develop more business wins for the company, because the way we stay afloat is through winning government and commercial contracts, whereby we can hire more people and put them in their skill sets so they can grow better and take care of their families.
Right. Yeah.
That's the purpose.
That's a good future out there. It looks like I know you said you worked for Raytheon early on in Afghanistan, and I worked for Raytheon and TI. And companies, it looks like the Ginn Group is another company that will allow you to grow and learn different things. I was just looking at your bio here, and it's just there's a ton of things out there. TI and Raytheon allowed me to grow and become so many things: Six Sigma expert, records retention manager, supervisor, all these things. I started out in maintenance and facilities as an electrician, and they allowed me to grow. It looks like there's a huge place for you to expand, not only grow yourself, but grow all the people around you and the people you will mentorship in the future.
Absolutely. And it comes from, just like you said, with 3 words: communication, collaboration, and then cooperation. Is other people that was already here are going to know. I would be remiss to not give them the authority to learn, because I'm coming over here under leadership that was already solid and sound. So I have to listen to them, and then the things that they did to get the company to where it is today. And then I can try to merge my values and the things that I've done in the past with this company. I can try to merge it and add value, whereby we win more contracts and grow together. But I'm very conscious of the fact that I got to listen to them. I got to listen. That's where I learn. I learn from them.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Charles. And while we have you on Spotlight, I see the beautiful banner you have behind you. Yeah. What are some of the areas of opportunity that you offer for veterans?
Some of the areas, like you say, in facilities, you know, all veterans, we got some facility management opportunities and stuff like that as our contracts grow. And then we have like logistics, which is a broad field, which is my main field, because that was my military occupational specialty in the military. So that's something near and dear to my heart, where we grow and expand those skills, because logistics, you know, it all ties into transportation and things of that nature, because nothing moves or get ordered or get distributed without logistics being involved. And now we got a new leg of engineering with the organization, whereby we got smart guys in engineering who's going to have another avenue approach where we can put people with certain skill sets in those roles, leadership roles, whereby we can just continue to grow in that direction. So we're moving and shaking, whereby we can create opportunities for great leaders, because we want to create more leaders, not followers in an organization.
And is this are these opportunities available anywhere in the country?
Right now, we're very active in the state of Kentucky, Alabama, here in Georgia, and also I want to say in Anderson, Alabama, Kentucky, and Georgia.
Great.
Also, Florida. We got a footprint in Florida as well.
Well, that's a pretty wide area. And those three areas: your facilities, your logistics, and engineering. Huge fields in each one of them. So that's a good operation there that you have there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Charles, when we think about the wise ones and lessons that we like to leave with others, for your years of service, what you've learned and the work that you're doing now, what are some wonderful key takeaways that you've experienced in your life that you can share with others?
I think it's one that I didn't understand years ago, because I studied Zig Ziglar for quite a while. And he said something similar to, if you help enough people in life get to where they need to be, eventually you will get to where you need to be. I never could really understand it. I read it over and over again. And as I matured in my business sense, and then the people that I've helped, I see a lot of people that I helped in the past, soldiers who I trained, they coming back in my life now saying, thank you. I appreciate everything you did for me. Without you, I would have done this and done that. So if you help enough people in your career to get to where they need to be, then your blessing will start flowing on the back end, and the cup will overflow. And you'll be surprised that the people out there cheering for you right now, based on what you did in your past. And then, like I said, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time.
Every time.
Every time. If you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it. You're going to be bullseye. So you have to just, pay it forward, help others, and then, don't ever think that you're better than anybody else, because you're not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of Zig Ziglar's famous quotes. Is if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. You won't miss it.
You won't miss it.
First shot, right? Yeah, I love it.
Well, and I think when you look at that, and also your attitude, if you are doing the right thing and you're helping other people, you have a great attitude and you just keep moving forward. And when things are not falling in alignment, at some point they will, because you're doing the right things.
That's it. You said it right, Jacalyn. Every day is not going to be, going exactly to plan, but that's when your resilience kick in. That's the only way resilience is going to kick in. I look at, like I said, if a person is always up, that's not the person I want to see. I want to see the person that when he hits rock bottom, what attitude does he have then? That's more important to me than somebody who's always up or playing like they up, because we are going to hit some points in our life where things are going to just happen. But how do you react when that adversity come your way, or when you can't find a job, or you have a tragedy in your family, or you get a relationship, you get a divorce? Who are you now? That person is the one who I want to meet. That's the real person. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think to something that you said earlier, Fred, when you talk about people who have reformed their lives, right? They've paid the price for what they did, and they have a new attitude, and you give them a chance, help them, lift them up.
Give them a leg up. That's right. I found it, you were talking about the people you've met along the way, Charles, and I know you too, Jackie, because it affects everybody. We find the good and the bad in a lot of people, and the people you want to be around are the mentors that will bring you up and encourage you. But I find out that there's a saying that Zig would always say, says, positive thinking will not allow you to do everything, but it will allow you to do everything better than negative thinking.
That's
and
right.
I found that people with a bad attitude are usually the ones that either make more mistakes, not that we don't all make mistakes, but they make more mistakes, they make bad decisions, they discourage everybody around them. And those are the ones that fail more times than succeed. They don't work through it. So an attitude, I find, that's why I don't know, Tom Ziegler dubbed me with the attitude guru title. And I do see that, because everything I look at, safety, I've seen in maintenance and facilities, I've seen some accidents out there that have been horrible accidents. And it was more about their attitude about safety than it was about OSHA rules and regulations.
That's right.
So all of these things apply. When I look at leadership with an attitude, I see these people, it's more about an attitude. Oh, I'm just an administrative assistant. I'm not a leader. I'm just a janitor. No, you're not. You're a key element in that company.
Right.
I do safety with an attitude, laughing with an attitude, faith with an attitude, success with an attitude. All of these things revolve to me. I see an attitude is the root cause of so many things, good or bad.
Right. Because think about it.
You made that point clear, Charles.
If you look back over centuries of great leaders, at some point they mention attitude. Mm-hmm. We can go back to Napoleon Hill. We can go back to Andrew Carnegie. We can go back to Brian Tracy. We can go back to Earl Nightingale. We can go on continuously. Each one of them going to speak about attitude. And so I'm thinking that they was on to something, because each one of those guys became very successful in what they were doing. And they had a whole lot of followers, people that paid them money to hear what they had to say. So I'm thinking that it's something to this attitude thing, positive mental attitude, better than negative mental attitude. You see what I'm saying? So it's been said a long time. Even the Bible says, renew the mind every day. Renew the mind. So it's something with the attitude that got to do with your health, your wealth, your mind, your body, and your spirit. And so you might as well give it a try. Why not? That's what I say.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. Jack?
So true. It just resonates that even though we see change, we watched that video, right, about what's happening to the earth, and we see so many things changing, but your attitude, everyone's attitude, the importance of it, that has never changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Now, I was looking at that. Let me throw something in on that.
Yep.
That was a perfectly said display about, I wish people out there would quit arguing about, oh, this climate change is this, or on one side or the other. What I'm talking about is doing the right thing. Exactly. Because whether we believe it's climate change or we don't believe in climate change, just look at all the trash we're throwing out, all the pollutants we're putting out. It's the wrong thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do. Whether you believe in climate change or you don't believe in China, it's the wrong thing to do. Do the right things. Quit arguing about which side you're on.
Right.
Do the right
thing. Do the right thing. That's it. And you can live so much. Yeah.
We all have a responsibility to do that. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Charles, who would you like to reach out to you, and how can people get in touch with you?
Well, actually, they can reach out to me. I really want like contractors and other business leaders who are in the government contracting sector, who are in the local and state government sectors that can gel or or synchronize with the Ginn group as a service-disabled veteran group that we are, because we have a lot of resources and we are in a growth process. And so we want to get with other small businesses and large businesses to see how we can come together on some of these large government contracts and create more jobs and opportunities for as many people as we can. Because we go at things together. You do more and better if you come as a team on some of this stuff. So I'm at
absolutely. And Charles, we are streaming your banner, and your information is on all of the platforms. We just posted it. But for people listening on the radio who can't read the banner, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way to get with me is at cwalker at Ginn Group. That's GINNGROUP.com. Charles Walker, the Ginn Group.com. And go to our website and check out what we do and what we involved with. And then reach out to me at cwalker at GinnGroup.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Fred, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you? We've just posted your information on social media.
The biggest one, I usually just do mainly on LinkedIn.
Me too.
And you can find me on LinkedIn. Just look up the name Fred Kienle, and you can put up the space up there. And it'll bring up a whole bunch of stuff that I do. I do articles and stuff. I do a bunch of articles about whatever happened to things in the past. And I have a lot of fun with that on a memory trip down memory lane. But also you can look me up on Amazon.com and look for the book, Health with an Attitude. You don't have to buy it. Just look at it. Health with an Attitude by Fred Kienle. And just click up and look at it, because I'm so proud of this book, because it's helping so many people stay healthy or get healthy or have health issues. I've been so blessed by being able to do this for the last 2 years. I've reached so many people, and I've gotten so much feedback from it. So I'm reaching out to other people to go do that and look at it. So you can also reach me if you want to have one of my seminars or any of my leadership or any of my attitude seminars that I do. Touch base with me at down there. It's FKIENLE@AOL.com. And just send me a line or touch base with me on LinkedIn and find out what it is that I do and how come I do it. And like I said, I've been blessed by being able to be a blessing to other people, and I'm just thrilled. So I appreciate that, Jackie, for being on the show and being a co-host with you and having wonderful guests like Charles Walker on our show.
I appreciate it, and
Thank you.
I'm thankful too. And Jacalyn, now you and I are connected on LinkedIn.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We're communicating and putting the word out there.
We sure will. And Fred, I also put the name of your book onto the post as well, so people can find that, Health with an Attitude. Charles and Fred, thank you, gentlemen, for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you the best. And for anybody who's just joining and missed the show, there's many places you can watch it, but may I suggest that you go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV. I'm actually watching it on the other monitor. It looks really good. You guys look great. And you can just click subscribe. And we have a playlist there called The Wise Ones, and you can see all of our shows there.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Dr. Jacalyn, thank you. Goodbye. God bless. Have a happy Thanksgiving coming up.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Bye-bye.